Hey, what's going on, everybody? I just wanted to do a quick video about an experience that I had today. I was talking to a guy that he was a truck driver, but he got out of it, or he was getting out of it, I should say. I met him at a warehouse that I picked up at, and he had worked there before, and he had made the comment that he's like, oh yeah, I used to drive trucks. And I was like, oh, you used to? He was like, you don't know how to drive trucks anymore. He's younger than me, and I could tell he's younger than me, and I'm 28, so I knew he was younger than me. So I was like, oh, so he didn't do it very long. I wonder what happened. I asked him, I said, what happened? He said, I hated it. I said, oh. I was like, oh, you got a wife at home? Girlfriend? No. You got kids? No. Oh, you must got a lot of family you're really close with? No. I was like, well, that's kind of weird that you would give it up, because he was one of the workers at the warehouse. I was like, it's kind of weird that you would give it up to come back and work at the warehouse. And he was like, I said, well, what did you hate? And he said, well, it was so boring. I said, oh, so you're, and I made the comment. I said, yeah, a lot of guys, they can't handle driving all day long. And he was like, no, it wasn't the driving I had a problem with. It was what to do when you're not driving. And I said, oh, were you always sitting? And he said, no, we were busy. He was like, we were running 2,500 to 3,000 a week. And I said, so what's the issue? And he said, well, he hated living a life where all it was drive, sleep, get up, drive, sleep, get up, drive, sleep, day in, day out, 7 days a week, whatever. And I said, I got to thinking, and I was like, you can try to enjoy life a little bit. And then he had made the comment to me that his uncle was a truck driver, and he had told his uncle that he wanted to put a TV in his truck, and his uncle was shitting on him about it, like, that's dumb, that's stupid, if you have time to watch TV, you need to find another job, and blah. And he's like, yeah, you need, basically he's one of these guys that we call super truckers, that you can't enjoy life at all. If your life isn't eating, breathing, sleeping, truck driving, you're worthless. That's the way these guys are. If you want to enjoy your time on the road at all, you want to sit there and enjoy a little bit of time of sitting around and relaxing, nah, they're gonna have no respect for you. So who cares? I don't really give a shit about super truckers myself. They can say whatever they want. The way I see it, I can't sleep for 10 hours, and you need 10 hours off. And these guys better get used to it anyway, because a lot of the times they don't take 10 hours off because they run illegally. They're still on paper. Well, come December, you can't be on paper anymore, so you're going to have to take 10 hours off at least every night. So what are some things that you can do to make your time a little better while you're on the road, because it does get depressing. You're gone away from home, you're missing your family, and maybe you're tired of just staring at a phone screen all day long. So the way I see it is, you don't want to just focus on your phone. That you don't want your life to be, you drive all day long and then you jump in the fucking bunk and you're just sitting there staring at your phone screen. One, they say it's really bad for you, which, that's a hit or miss, I guess, if you believe it or not. But two, it is scientifically proven that actually that messes up your sleep cycle, because it messes up the way your brain produces melatonin and all that stuff. So I've read the studies on it, and I said, well, you got to at least let the phone go an hour before you want to fall asleep. So what do people do? One thing you can do, there's all kinds of things, hobbies. If you had a hobby at home, like, for example, if you draw, bring your art shit, man. If you, there's some people who draw, you can buy some software to learn a new language. You can listen to some audio going down the road, and, listen to some stuff, try to learn a language going down the road, language in your off time. Musical instruments. If you play musical instruments, or you want to play a musical instrument, get it. I talked to a guy one time that said, oh, he doesn't bring his electric guitar because he can't plug the amp in. It's really, really easy to go and buy a power inverter. You can get them off of, you can get a 1500 watt inverter off of Amazon for $80. You buy an inverter. You can watch tutorials step by step how to hook it up. It's super easy. You know, it's so easy to hook them up. And you hook up a power inverter, and you get a 1500 watt inverter and a little, 350 watt amp, and plug it in and have yourself a ball. You know, whatever you want to do, you can take your hobbies and your joy out on the road with you. A lot of you younger guys like me, I'm 28, a lot of the people that are 21, 22, you guys really like playing video games, and just like I do, I enjoy video games as well. There's no problem with going out and buying a TV. Do not get a truck stop TV, by the way. Do not get a truck stop TV, because they're way unbelievably overpriced for terrible quality TVs. Go to Walmart, buy yourself a 24 inch TV. Most trucks now have a setup where you can set the TV up and strap in you can strap it in. Like my truck, it's right up in there, I should say. Right in there. And there's straps in there, so you put the TV down the base, and then you just strap it in, so it straps across the bottom of the base, so of the TV, so you're set to go. Get yourself a little TV and bring your PlayStation 4, bring your Xbox, bring whatever you want. If you don't want to do all that, get yourself a Game Boy, a Nintendo DS. There's all kinds of games, to really enjoy your time on the road, enjoy your off time, look forward to getting off of work like a normal person does in a normal job, and enjoy a little bit of time to yourself every night. Again, you get one of those little TVs and you have a little, 1500 watt inverter, plug it in, it ain't gonna hurt it, that's what it's for. And then you can get yourself your PlayStation or whatever. Yeah, you're probably not gonna be able to play online unless you have, unlimited data, like with Verizon or AT&T or Sprint or whatever, and then you can use a hotspot. But I tried that before, and even if you have really good service, a hotspot off a cell phone's not that great. You can buy one of those, most cell phone carriers have that little hotspot thing you can buy, which I heard works really well. But, when you're out and kind of in the middle of nowhere and you're depending on LTE or 4G service, when cell towers start getting congested, it gets slower and things like that. So it didn't work for me, but you can try it. It's worth a shot. But you can play single player games. I can play The Last of Us on repeat, whatever. You can enjoy life. I don't have a TV hooked up in my truck, but right now, because I don't plan on being over the road again much longer. I just went on the road for 6 or 7 months, so I don't want to invest in another TV and all that stuff. And so but there's a ways to enjoy life. You can get DirecTV in a truck. It's actually a lot easier than you think. You don't need to spend $900 on that satellite that they permanently install on the truck and all that, because those satellites are like $800-900. So you don't need to do all that. You can buy a satellite dish from DirecTV or Dish or whatever, and it's only like $120 or something like that, and you just mount it on the outside of the truck. You figure out a way to mount it on the outside of the truck, and then when you stop, if you have 10, 12, 13 hours off, mount it up, and you can use that. It's really easy to adjust the satellite. I used to do it. You put the satellite on and you just kind of adjust it and you watch the TV. It takes a minute and a half. You get your signal, you're set. You jump in the back, you watch TV, enjoy a little bit of life. Another essential that I believe to really enjoy life on the road is it is my absolute must-have at all times is satellite radio. My radio in my truck actually has satellite in it, but you can buy the little Sirius thing. It's like $60, $50. Mount the antenna on the outside, and you're set to go. It has become it is indisposable to me how amazing it has made driving 11 hours, 10 hours a day. I can listen to Howard Stern alone for 10 hours if I wanted to, and it's just become so. It's become it's indisposable. Like I said, it has become absolutely phenomenal. I've had XM now for a few years, and I won't do without it, especially if I'm over the road, just because it you know, you're not gonna be able to talk on the phone, and some people can listen to music for 10 hours a day. Me personally, I'm not one of those people. I it's easier for me to stay awake when I listen to talk radio, especially like Howard Stern or the Comedy Central channel, or it helps you even stay up to date on your news. You know, when you're on the road, you do lose track of what's going on in the news, and there's all kinds of news channels, sports channels. If you want to listen to the football games, baseball games, hockey games, basketball games, they have all that. If you get the full package, the full service package, it's like $21 a month, and that includes all the sports channels, everything. So, like I said, I will not do without an XM radio, and that makes your life so much easier. At least it does for me. So, like I said, you don't need to don't listen to these super truckers, man. Nothing drives me crazier than super truckers. They're the guys that, when you tell them, yeah, the weather got really bad last night, it was snowing, it was slipping and sliding out there, and I just decided to pull it into a truck stop and shut it down. And the pussy. Oh, you're a fucking pussy. Load needs to get there, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, these guys, they're the ones who die on the road because they feel like they had to get the load there and stuff like that. Me personally, if the weather is not comfortable, I've been over the road, I've been driving a truck for 6 years total. Never had a ticket, never had an accident, and I make great money. I don't need to run illegally. I do have paper logs. I don't run illegally, I don't listen to these super truckers, man. They'll shit on you all day long when you tell them, oh, I want to put a TV in my truck. Oh, I do this. Oh, I do that. They say, oh, if you don't have, if you're having time to watch TV, you're not working for a good company, and they'll just shit on you about it. It's like, yeah, fuck off, super trucker. The reason that they think like that is because they overwork themselves. They run paper logs. They cheat them, and then so they only have 6 or 7 hours off a night they take. And then, which is just enough to sleep and get up and do it again. I know how they operate. My stepdad was a truck driver. Well, is a truck driver for 25 years. And I know a lot of truck drivers. His brother's also a truck driver, owns a company and stuff like that. And these guys, they will they'll cheat their logs. They're redoing a lot, log pages at the end of the night. It's insane. And so they feel that way, but come December, everybody's on electronic logs. No matter how much they piss and moan, they're going to need electronic logs. And if they want to stay in the industry, maybe they want to retire. I don't know. But they want to stay but they got to have electronic logs, so they got to at least take 10 hours off. There's situations too where you're taking more than 10 hours off. You got your 34-hour resets, and then you got your maybe you pick up a load on Wednesday morning, and it's appointment only, and it delivers Thursday night, but it's only 450 miles away. That happens a lot. It depends. My company, not really, but it does happen. A lot, especially when I was I worked for Werner for a year and a half. That was my first company, and when I worked for Werner, that happened quite a bit. When they would give you an appointment, you would have to do that. So, so that essentially, it's like 450 miles away. That's a 7-hour drive. You picked it up Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. and you drove straight there, and you got there at 2 o'clock, but it doesn't deliver till the next day at 7 o'clock at night. So you essentially have 24 plus hours off to do something, or sometimes you may only have 13 hours off, 14 hours off, whatever. You don't ever want to, personally, I don't like to, if it's an appointment, I don't want to get there more than an hour early, because there's a lot of times you get there 2-3 hours early and they'll turn you away. They'll say, oh, you got to come back later when it's your appointment time. Well, now you just wasted your 14. So you wasted all those hours on your 14-hour clock. So, for the day. So the way I see it is, you're going to need to take some time off. You might as well try to enjoy it. Like I said, learn another language. Play an instrument. There's all kinds of things you can do to try to enjoy your life on the road. So, whatever your hobby is, unless it's something that obviously can't fit into a truck, and you can just find a new hobby. Learning a musical instrument's a good one, There's all kinds of things you can do to really try to enjoy your life on the road, besides staring at a phone screen like that, like that guy did that I met and stuff. And he already quit like I said, he had quit his job, and he was already working back for the warehouse that he used to work for. So, it is what it is. It is not a life for everybody, but I will say there is ways to enjoy it. So anyway, enjoy your time on the road, and God bless.